welcome to CEC lectures. Myself Dr. Preeti Jagwani from Department of Computer Science, Aryabhat College, University of Delhi. So in the previous lecture we have started with control flow statements in Java, and we have seen if statement in detail, and we have also started with switch statement. So in this lecture we will be continuing with switch statements and its example. So let us have a quick recap of this switch statement. Basically a multi-way branch statement in Java with this kind of general format which is given on the screen. So it is switch expression, then case value 1 followed by a statement sequence and a break, case value 2 followed by a statement sequence and break, and this will go on till case value n, and then there is an optional construct which is the default. Also please notice the use of colon here. So case value 1 is followed by a colon, similarly case value 2 is also followed by a colon, and so is default. So type of expression when we talk about, so prior to JDK 7 byte, short, int, character or enumeration were allowed. After JDK 7 and afterwards any type of strings are also allowed, and value of expression will be compared with each of the values in the case statement. Wherever there is a match, the code sequence following that case statement is executed, and if none of the constant matches the value of the expression, then the default statement is executed. However, this default is optional, that I have already told you, and break statement is used inside the switch to terminate a statement sequence. Now with these details, let us try to understand an example where there is a switch, and this switch, please notice here that this is written inside a for statement. So I am just going directly to the details of the statement, which says for int equals to for int I equals to 0, I less than 6, I plus plus. Then we have a switch I and case 0, that now the value of I will be matched with the value of the case expressions, that is the case 0. If the value of I is 0, system.out.println I is 0, I is 0 is printed, then it will give the break and the whole control will come out of the switch statement. It will come out of the switch statement, but it will remain within the for statement, and for the next value of I, when I is incremented by I plus plus, the next value of I will be 1, and now case 0 will not be matched. Now the case which is going to be matched is case 1, and then I is 1 is printed, and then again break, it will come out of the switch statement. Then for I is equals to 3, it will get again into this, and for I is equals to 3, for I is equals to 2, the case statement is I is 2, then for 3 it is 3, and so on and so forth. This will keep on going till the value of I is 0, 1, 2 and 3. So these 4 statements will be printed because this switch statement is coming in a loop. So for each iteration of the loop, this switch is going to be executed once, either for value of I is 0 or value of I is 1, or for 2 or for 3. Then the value comes up as I is equals to 4. So 4 is not going to match any of the case values. It is not 0, it is not 1, it is not 2, not 3. Then it will come into the default scenario which says I is greater than 3. Then again value of I will be incremented, it will be 5 now. Similarly for 5, none of the case statements is going to be matched. So default statement which is I is greater than 3 will be printed again, and then I is we can say incremented to 6, but the condition of for says that this is going to be run till I is less than 6. So when I becomes 6, it is not less than 6. So then that time this statement is not going to be executed, and I can say it will come out of the for loop. So as of now, if we talk about the output, so the output will be I is 0, I is 1, I is 2, I is 3. which is followed by the statement I is greater than 3 for twice. So, for value of 0, for value of 1, for 2, 3, and for 4 and 5, the statement which is being printed here is I is greater than 3, because there is no value of case expression which is going to match 4 and also which is going to match 5. So, the default statement is kind of we can say uh, executed there. Also, not only the default statement which is optional, I can say the break statement is also optional, but it is having severe consequences, in the sense that if you want to omit the break, execution will continue on into the next case. So, and sometimes it is desirable to have multiple cases within one single I can say statement or one single chunk without the break statements in between them. Let us see such an example, which is here given here on the screen. For I is equals to, for int I is equals to 0, I less than 12, you have I plus plus. On the basis of I, case 0, nothing here, no break, no statements. Then case 1, no break, no statements. Similarly for case 2, case 3, case 4. So, that essentially means that for case 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4, this system.out.println, which is I is less than 5, will be executed, and then it will go into the break. So, if it is 0, then it will go to the next case because break is not there. Then it will go to the next case as break is not there, and it will I can say ladder down to all the case statements. Continuing this program, this can have case 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 without any statements or without any break statements. It is going to say in case of 9, it is going to say system.out.println I is less than 10, then a break, and then the default statement which says I is 10 or more. Now, please kind of we can say see the value of I, the initial value of I is 0. So, case 0 will be kind of we can say satisfied, but there is no break statement, then it will go to case 1. No statement, then it will go to case 2 also, then no statement, it will go to case 3, it will go to case 4, and then this in this way it is going to work. So, as far as the output of this program is concerned, it is going to give I is less than 5, this statement for 5 times, which is for 0, for 1, for 2, for 3 and for 4. Then I is less than 10, this will be executed or this will be printed 5 times for all values of 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9, and for the value of 10 and for the value of 11, because the condition or the stopping condition in for says I should be less than 12. So, starting from 0, this loop or this program is going, this iteration is going to be executed at least 12 times, that is from 0 to 11. So, for 5 initial 5 times, that is going to say I is less than 5, then I is less than 10 for another 5 times, that is which is value of 10. Then for 10 it will print I is 10 or more, and for 11 also it is going to print I is 10 or more. And now why it is kind of we can say printing I is less than 5 in case of 0 also, because 0 is not having any break statement and also it is not having any statements to be executed there. So, here you can witness this in case of 0 there is no break statement. So, jumping the ladder down, it will go to SOP system.out.println I is less than 5. And similarly, in case of any value which is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, it will go to system.out.println I is less than 10, because there is no break. And finally, this I is less than 10 or I is less than 5 are I can say followed by break, and so is your next is your default statement which says I is 10 or more. So, I hope you understood the how this program is giving the output of what it is giving. Now, as I have told you that in case of JDK7 and the higher versions, the expression of switch, it is also allowed to have a string. So let us try to see how that string expression is going to be used in case of JDK7 and the higher versions. So here it says string str is equals to 2 TWO in double inverted commas. As you know that string is a kind of, I can say, built-in data type here. Then we are going to operate this switch statement on the basis of str, and then it will meshed with case 1 one in double inverted commas, which is another I can say variable or another constant or another object of this string. System.out.println, if match is there, it will print 1, otherwise it will go into it will break. Then case 2, system.out.println 2, if it is going into 2, then it will do a break here, come out of it. Similarly case 3, and then a default statement which says no match. So in this way also we can use the string variables. Also, as we have seen in the previous lecture, that we have nested, we can have nested ifs. On the similar lines, we can have nested switch statement also, that is using one switch statement as a part of another, or within the statement sequence of another switch statement. That is what a nested switch is, and nested switch statements are perfectly allowed in Java. So till this point, when we talk about the control flow statements in case of Java, we have seen the if statements, it's different flavors also we have seen in the previous lecture, and in this lecture we have taken the switch statement in the detail, and these two are basically we can say the conditional the selection statements in case of Java. Now after selection we are going to cover the iteration statements in Java. So iteration, as you all understand, is nothing but the loop. Iteration is kind of repetition of something, and in the loop we are going to repeat the body of the loop unless your condition becomes false. So iteration statements, when we talk about here in case of Java, are for, while and do while, and these three constructs are I can say very common. What is the difference between this for, while and do while? Yes, of course there are the differences, we will be covering them, but as of now we can say that your for and while both are entry control loops, while your do while is an exit control loop. So entry control loop says before going into the loop, or before going into the body of the loop, before executing the body of the loop, the condition statement has to be kind of checked. If it is satisfied, then only the body of the loop will be executed. While any exit control loop says that essentially once the body of the loop will be executed, and then it will I can say it will test the condition at the exit. If the condition is satisfied, it will go again into the loop, otherwise it will come out. So even if your it is going to be it is going to have a false condition even at the first time, at least once the loop body will be executed if it is an exit control loop, because the condition is tested at the exit of the loop, I can say, not at the place of entry. So let us start among these three loops. We have while, for and do while. Let us start with the while loop. So as you know, it is kind of loop, so it will repeat a statement or maybe a block of these statements while its controlling expression is true. So what is the general form? We have a while statement, or the while keyword, I can say, then which is followed by a condition, and then there is the body of the loop, and this body of the loop could be a single statement or could be a block of the statements enclosed within the brackets, and this we have already, this concept of this block we have already seen in our if statement also. Now condition expression can be any boolean expression. Body of the loop will be executed as long as the condition expression is true. Moment the condition expression becomes false, the control comes out of the loop, or comes out of the body of the loop, comes out of the loop, we can say, and it will pass to the next line of the code, which is written after the loop. Curly brackets are not required if there is only a single statement within the body of the loop, and this is I can say is a general rule of these kinds of languages which are using these curly braces for the scope thing. Then let us try to understand this while, or the execution of this while, with a very small demonstrative program. So we have a class and within the main function we have taken value of n is equals to 10, and we are comparing this value of n as while n greater than 0. So presently the condition is true, it is going to print count 10. Then value of n will be decremented, then the value of n will be 9, and 9 is again greater than 0, it will again print count 9, then it will print count 8, then it will print count 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and also kind of we can say till 1 it is going to be, and the moment it will become 0, the condition will be false here, because we want n to be greater than 0. Then this count and the we can say the numbers which are being displayed from 10 to 1 will not be displayed anymore, and your execution comes to the next statement, which is following the body of the loop, or which is following the braces which are given. So this was basically the we can say general format of the while statement, and also one symbolic program as how are we going to use this while loop. This basically evaluates the conditional expressions at the top of the loop, and body of the loop will not be executed even once if the condition is false to begin with, and hence it is known as entry control loop. Body of the loop or could be empty. It is not necessary to have at least one statement, or at least a statement within the body. No, it's not necessary. The body of the while or any of the other loops in Java for that matter can be empty, because if we talk about the null statement, which is having nothing but a semicolon, is a syntactically valid statement when we talk about Java. So coming to our next construct after this while is do while, basically an exit control loop. So if the conditional expression which is controlling in case of a while loop is false initially, body of the loop will not be executed if I am talking about while. But sometimes it is desirable to execute the body of the loop at least once, and even if the conditional expression is false to begin with. Now, what is the example of this kind of scenario when it is desirable to execute the body of the loop at least once, even if the conditional expression is false? Printing a menu could be one of such examples. You are going to print at least that menu one time, and even if your user presses the option, or user gives the option for exit, then in that situation you will come out of the loop, but at least one time you are going to display that menu. So basically this do while is testing the termination expression, or testing the conditional expression at the end of the loop rather than at the beginning, and hence it is known as kind of we can say an exit control loop. So it executes the body at least once always, because its conditional expression is at the bottom of the loop. As far as general statement or general format is concerned, here is the general format, which says do followed by the opening braces, which is going to mark the opening of a block or starting of a block, then body of the loop is there. After closing this curly bracket, we have while, and then there is a condition. So each iteration of the do while loop first executes the body of the loop, and then it will test the condition expression. If the condition expression is true, the loop will repeat, all else I can say the loop will terminate. And as with all of the Java's loop, we should have kind of a Boolean expression in the form of a condition, or it could be a Boolean variable also. So here the similar count example, we have taken n is equals to 10 and do system.out.println count or tick followed by the value of n while minus minus n greater than 0. So this was the similar program which we have taken for while, and it was printing count of 10, then 9 till 1. That similar program here is being executed with the help of do while. So as I have told you that this is especially useful when we want to process a menu selection, because we want, in those type of situations, we are looking for the body of the menu loop to execute at least once. So this was the do while thing. Then coming to our next construct is for. So for, the general format is, within the for you have 3 statements. One is initialization followed by a comma, then a condition followed by a semicolon, then a condition followed by a semicolon, and then iteration. Why semicolon in between? Because these are the I can say different expressions, and the semicolon is the termination symbol when an expression is going to be terminated, and within the curly brackets there is a body. So when the loop first starts, the initialization is, I can say, implemented or executed. It sets the value of the loop control variable, and this loop control variable is going to act as the counter variable, which is going to control the executions of, or the iterations of the loop, I can say. Also, it is very important to see that initialization expression is executed only once. Then after repetition will cause when the loop is getting repeated or executed multiple times, it is going to be the condition which is evaluated as it is false or true. In case of true, it will go into the body. In case of false, it will come out of the for loop. And also the iteration thing, it is going to happen again and again till the condition is becoming till the condition is true. So basically initialization will take place first, then the condition is evaluated, which must be a Boolean expression, which is going to test the loop control variable against a target value, and if this expression is true, then the body of the loop is executed. If it is false, the loop will be terminated. So this is what kind of I can say. The difference between the for and while is, yes, there is a difference. I'll be covering it maybe in the our upcoming lectures. The iteration portion of the loop is executed after the evaluation of the condition statements, which is basically kind of incrementing or decrementing the loop control variables, and then the loop then iterates, evaluates the condition expression, execute the body of the loop, execute the iteration expression again with each pass, and it will repeat until the controlling expression becomes false. I will be covering one example of this in a short while. So here is the example, the similar example which we have taken. For the demonstration of for and do while, this says I am just going to within the main integer n, for n equals to 10, that is the initialization expression. For n greater than 0 and n minus minus. So this loop will go on till here n is having a value which is greater than 0. So for 10 it is greater than 0, it will go and print the value of tick value of n along with the string tick. Then it is going to decrement the value again. 9 is greater than 0, again it will go into the loop, and so on and so forth till it is 1. After 1, again when n minus minus is executed, it will go, the value of n will be 0. Now 0 is not greater than 0, so it will come out of the loop. One thing which is important in case of for statements is this initialization and the kind of increment or decrement, which is the iteration condition. They can be multiple conditions, as shown on as shown here. So within the for, we have a is equals to 1 comma b is equals to 4, and then followed by a semicolon. So that means a is equals to 1 and b is equals to 4, both are the initialization expressions. Similarly, at the end, a plus plus and b minus minus, both are the iteration statements having increment or decrement. So a comma in between them, and within in between these initialization and iteration statements, there is conditional statement, which is a greater than b. This could be a compound condition, but not the multiple conditions. We cannot have multiple conditional expressions, but yes, a compound expression is perfectly valid here. So here in this lecture, we have covered the switch statement, seen some of the examples of it. Then we have started with while, have seen couple of examples. Then the exit control loop, do while, which is then we have seen the statement or the iteration statement, which is for. So in the previous lecture and this lecture, we have completed in a way the kind of control statement. Some or some of the jump statements are left, which I will be covering in the next lecture. Here is a list of references which is being used for the preparation. Hope you have enjoyed one. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next lecture. Till then, take care. Goodbye.